Hi guys, here's here for the final reveal on my first two builds for the Whirly-Bird group build hosted by Mr. BG at BG's Model Workshop. And we're going to hop right into them. The first one here is an Ace model kit. It's a 1/92nd scale Bell 206 Jet Ranger. An LAPD paint scheme. This whole kit has about 10 parts to it, 12 parts to it. Not much to it at all. It was basically overall white, so it took me basically one day to paint it, let it dry overnight, and assemble it the next day. Not much to it. I did add, the kit does not come with the glass for the side windows, so I had to make that out of acetate. No big deal, they were just flat pieces. The rotor does turn. Main one does. The tail rotor doesn't, because you have to, the way you have to glue it on, it doesn't turn anymore. For being a small kit like this, 1/92nd scale, a little smaller than HO scale. I don't know why. I guess it's 1/92nd because it fits the box scale. I guess I don't know why they picked that number. It's not half bad for someone to use on their model railroad or something like that. But that's our first build for the Whirly-Bird group build, and we'll put him aside for a moment. We'll bring him back in just a second because we'll show a comparison. The second one we did that we have finished was also a 187. This is a 187 scale Bell UH-1D Iroquois. This one is in 187 scale, which is HO scale for the model railroad guys. Let's see, for example, comparison. That's an HO scale fire truck next to it, a telesquirt it's called. So that's the scale we're dealing with. And this is a kit from Roco Mini Tanks. Again, it's the HO scale to go with the model railroads. That's a German company, and as you can see from the box art, it was intended to be for the German military, but it did come with Army, Marines, and Air Force decals to go with it. There are pilots inside. I don't know if you probably won't be able to see them from the glare and because they're so tiny. Let me try to zoom in on them and try, but you can kind of see them sitting in there. There's one on each side. Yeah, you can kind of see them in there. The windshield wipers were separate parts. We used a blue Sharpie to tint the top windscreen, and you weren't able to do it with the doors open. It had to be, you'd have to cut it to open the doors. It does come with the parts to make it into a gunship with the rockets and the guns that hang off the side, but I decided to just do it as a straight marine transport. And this one is also being done for my marine entry in the Armed Forces group build. We previously have done we've done the Coast Guard duck for the group build, Armed Forces group build, and we did the Atlantis PBY for the Navy branch for the group build. This one is the Marines, and the next Whirly-Bird I'm building is a AH-1S Cobra, and that's going to be our Army build. That one's in 1/48 scale. It's going to be quite a bit bigger. Again, the same thing on this one. The top rotor does turn. The tail rotor on this one was intended to turn, but the pin on it was so fragile that I just went ahead and glued it. And I knew I would break it off. For its size, this is a fairly detailed kit. They had decals for the interior instrument panel. All our fly bar and swatch plate is on there. There were some parts I didn't add, so the armament parts I didn't put on. There were also some other specialized parts that didn't put on, or they just were so small that I couldn't get them to go with my big old fingers. But that's our Roco Bell UH-1D Iroquois for the Whirly-Bird group build and the Marine submission for the Armed Forces group build. Before we get rid of it, I just kind of show you the difference between the scale. These two helicopters should, well, the Jet Ranger would be a little smaller than the Huey, but not much. So just by going from 187th to 192 scale, you can see how much smaller things get. But there you go, guys. That's our first 2 of possibly 5 for the Whirly-Bird group build. And we will catch you later on the next video. Along with the Cobra for the Armed Forces group build, I'm starting a Hasegawa 66 Pontiac Bonneville car that I'm going to call I'm calling Sunday Sleeper. It's a curbside kit, so it's going to be a quick build. It's all going to be all about the paint. But just a quick sneak peek. That's the body right there. So we will see you on our next video, guys. Pictures at the end, as always. And if you want a shop card from me, email me your information at the email address in the description. Thanks.